Jeff Rowe from 2 Hacks Garage. Well, back at Jimmy's shop. This is part 2 of tying the front part of the chassis together so we can get that axle mount on there. This is a crucial step with the process. We really can't do anything else with the chassis until we get that done. Jimmy's been doing a lot of research. He's been talking to a lot of his other friends from back in the day that still build chassis. And I think we came up with a game plan. The one thing is we have one shot at doing it. So hopefully we're going to get it right. It's going to be a learning process for the both of us, and we're just going to have to take our time, get it done right, so we can get this thing going with the rest of the chassis. As you saw at the beginning of this thing, I threw up a picture. It's snowing. We're not that far from spring. We've had a mild winter. I know it's a sidebarring, but you know what? Yesterday was 55 degrees and somewhat sunny, and today we got 2, 3, 4 inches of snow on the ground. Oh well, back in Jimmy's shop, we're working. We're going to plug away at this. We're going to get stuff done because we got to get that front end done on that so we can actually get the rest of this done. If you're wondering what we're doing, go to our part 1 of this video and we explain what we got going on. In fact, I'll probably throw it again in here in this video just so you can see it. Just don't want to reiterate what we've already talked about. I'm rambling. Jimmy's trying to get some stuff going. We got a lot of crucial work to do on this. This is kind of one of those steps where we got to get stuff done. So Jimmy and I are going to go ahead and do that. We're going to focus on this.
And we're trying not to ruin a 12-foot piece of chromoly.
Exactly. Like Jimmy said, try not to ruin a 12-foot piece of chromoly. I went down to St. Louis with Kenny on a really cold day to get that. I think we can do it though, guys. We're just going to have fun. We're going to pay attention to what we're doing, stay focused, and we're going to get this front end tied together so we can get an axle mount on there and start on the rest of this chassis. See you in a few. All right, so if you look, what we got going on is it's a rough cut. Jimmy had talked to some of his chassis buddies and figure out how to make the initial line. And what we did is made the rough cut so we know where it joins back here, which we're right, it's gonna be about a foot. So now we just gotta take a little bit and make our angle cut. So what's gonna happen is that top pipe, which is right here, is gonna slip down and be about 1/4 of an inch from the top. That's where we got to get it. So it's just, you make your rough cut a little at a time, and then you start making your angle a little bit different. So this will basically pinch and clamshell over. That's as best as I can explain it right now, but as you can see, we're getting there. It is literally just being careful and taking our time. With that, Jimmy and I got to get back to work. All right, so you saw Jimmy and I do was literally just a little bit at a time. We did our rough cut and then just took a little bit out at a time going back. And as you saw when we were cutting it on this tube, we're actually going to a point. Reason being is what's going to hit here on the bottom chassis tube to the top is more than the actual back here. So if you look here, this is our rough front axle. It's obviously going to get cut into half. And what we were looking for is those two not to have any gaps, and they don't. So we're actually lined up on here.
It's actually the axle mount.
Yeah, this is the axle mount. So this will actually get cut in half, and our slugs will go in there, like I said in a previous video, so our axle will go on here. But as you can see, that actually worked out pretty well. I'm sure there's a math equation in this, but you know what? We figured it out based upon what some other people said. So what we're going to do is we're going to replicate that on the other side and do it all over again. Then from there, obviously this is going to have to be cut radius so that can get put into there. But yeah, the reason why you had to cut so far back and make that channel, if you want to call it long, what I was calling a clamshell cut, is if you look back here in the chassis, the distance between the top of the chassis and there is very, very short. So
normally it's about that much taller.
Yeah, normally you got 3 or 4 inches. So if you look here, that is a very, 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 very small angle. So as it goes through here, what that causes is that right there to be longer on that cut. It's still going to be very structural. Still going to look nice. Got a whole lot of work to do, but you know what? We're going to have to replicate that other side. Just figured I'd give a little bit of update where we're at. This is kind of one of those things where, yeah, it's intricate work. Just got to take our time. As Johnny Cash said, little piece at a time.
Matter of fact, math is a bad 4-letter word to me because I went to public school.
Yeah. All right, so that second set of tubes went a whole lot easier, but as you can see, we figured out our angle and got all that done. So yeah, we are tapering back at the same angle all the way forward to the front. And I was calling this a clamshell weld, pinch weld, whatever you want to call it. So what we got to do is actually get everything welded into place. Jimmy and I are coming up with a plan for that. Our axle mount in front, you can't really see it, but from this tube across and same with the other side is actually flush with the pipes. So we actually still got to cut that in half. Fish mouth, cut this, get it all put together. But I'm going to call that a video on this one. This was probably a really one of the larger crucial steps we had going. But as you can see, it's pretty good. And like I said, the reason why we had to cut back so much on that top pipe is because if you look back there on the chassis, that back there is really not that tall. So it's really, really, really a small angle going through here. But we're getting there and we got a plan.
Just tell them this should be about 2 inches taller. Normally this is about 2 inches taller.
Yeah, normally back there it's about 2 inches taller, which drastically changes the angle of how that cut would happen.
It could be 3 also. Yeah. I've seen them at different heights.
So yeah, that's why we had to keep cutting a little bit. And we figured it out. Now we actually have a template moving forward on this. But yeah, we're getting there. It's straight, it's true, it's going together good, it's going to be solid, it's going to be awesome. I'm going to call that this video done. So there will be a part 3 on doing the rest of this axle mount, doing the welding on this. Like I said, lots of hours in this. See you tomorrow.